Hi, here's something I never thought I would see again. Seriously, a brand spanking new Australian electronics magazine. Look at this, it's called DIYODE. Do it yourself. Diode. Get it? They're beautiful. It's brand spanking new. This is the first edition that's come out. It's published by a guy called Rob Bell. He's the guy behind this, and I never thought I'd see the day that there'd be another electronics magazine published, let alone published in good old school dead tree format. And look at this thing. It looks absolutely fantastic. We'll take a quick look at it in a minute, but like back in before the internet, we had electronics magazines. That was pretty much the only electronics resource that hobbyists like myself had to keep in touch with the industry and projects and technical articles and all that sort of stuff was in these hobby magazines. And back in the day, we had like 4 or 5 of them just here in Australia. I'm not sure about overseas. They had probably just as many, but there was Electronics Australia, of course, which has been going forever under various different names. Electronics Today International, Australian Electronics Monthly at one point. There was Talking Electronics, and I've done an awesome series of like 5 videos interviewing Colin Mitchell from Talking Electronics. I might have to link those in down below. They're a fascinating watch. Definitely watch those. And then Silicon Chip. Leo Simpson branched off from Electronics Australia to form Silicon Chip. And we had, I don't know if there were 5 at one point, but I think there are at least 4 on the newsstands at one point. And of course, there is still the sole remaining Australian electronics magazine, Silicon Chip. Leo Simpson still running that, still a super quality publication. It's probably the only electronics magazine in the world, correct me if I'm wrong, that have an in-house technical team who actually design their own projects. DIYODE is not like this. It's a brand new one. It's basically taking other people's, you submit your content to it, and if it's good enough, they will publish it. And Rob is probably an ideal person to do this because he runs like some sort of graphic design business. That's his business. Hence why you're going to see that it looks so fantastic, because he knows what he's doing. He's got the team to actually make this look really, really slick, and it does. So, but he's got that electronics hobbyist, enthusiast background, which you need, the passion, to do something like this. So awesome. Good luck to him. I'll definitely, of course, link this down below. It's like $10 or something Australian, which is pretty pricey, but that's for the print one, of course. Yes, there is a digital version available, and you can get that anywhere in the world. You can even get the print publication anywhere in the world. This is the limited release first edition. There you go. And very kindly you might recognize that guy. There you go. That's my ugly mugs even in there. Awesome. Thanks, Rob. This is brilliant. I never thought I'd see the day a new Australian electronics magazine. And of course, Silicon Chip are still going, but this is kind of different. While they have their own in-house writers, they're not designing projects themselves. So it's, user-submitted projects and stuff like that. It's mostly focused on projects and stuff like that. And the quality of it is absolutely awesome. So hats off to Rob and the team for getting this up and running. Fantastic. Now, it is like a local focus. And I spoke to Rob early before this was released, and I said, I think that's still a mistake. It should be global focused, but Rob wants to try it initially with an Australian, try and feature local Australian creators, and we have more than enough here in Australia producing projects and stuff if you just look and ask. So there'll be no shortage of contents, but I think that's a bit of a shame in today's modern world where, there's blogs and technical blogs that showcase pretty much projects from anywhere in the world. I think DIYODE should do the same. But yeah, this is not only available in Australia, you can buy it anywhere in the world as a digital edition or as the print, so you can read it on the dunny. No worries. Now, a lot of people will say, what is the purpose of a printed magazine like this? And these days, right, with the internet, everything's free. Why would I pay money for a magazine like this? One is that it's great, much higher quality content visually, and it's all, you can get your daily, sign up to whatever electronics news blog, project blog that you want to subscribe to, but it doesn't have the same, it's not the same vibe. It's all about the vibe of the magazine. And the other thing is, what would be the purpose of having your projects published in here? Now, here's the kicker. I still think magazines are a huge deal, right? Why? Because to put on your resume, if you're some student or hobbyist or whatever, you're trying to get a job in the industry, of course, the best thing you can do is do your own projects and publish them. And there's still this day, no better place to publish than an electronics magazine. Putting on your resume that your project was published in an electronics magazine is still number one. So I think it has a massive, valuable contribution right there. And I think a purpose of a magazine like this should be to really highly vet these projects so that really only the, real novel and the best of the best ones get in here, or at least novel, give youngsters a chance and stuff like that, of course, because I got my start getting published in electronics magazines way back in the day, and I think it's still a valuable thing, a valuable service. There's websites like, you might get your project published on Hackaday or something like that, and yeah, it's kind of a big deal, but putting that on your resume, I got, there's so many projects that go in there. This one's, the magazines could be a bit more selective in that respect. It can be more prestigious to get your project published and featured in a magazine like DIYODE. So there you go. Because Silicon Chip aren't doing a similar thing. Is Elector still going? I don't know. I'm not into the overseas electronic magazines, but Silicon Chip do mostly their own in-house projects, which is a different kind of cool. But you can get your own projects published in there, of course, which is awesome. But now there's another one where you can get your stuff published. Absolutely brilliant. So I think that's where the value still lies in these magazines, is people getting projects published. And I just like the form factor. So anyway, we'll take a quick look inside. I won't completely spoil it through every page, but let's have a look at the production quality, shall we? And please excuse the crudity of this shot. I didn't have time to build it to scale or to paint it. It's good to see that they got a lot of advertisers in here, though, which is fantastic. John from Tronics Lab, who's the big Adafruit distributor here in Australia. Good day, John. He's basically first page after the editorial and everything. So they've got their own in-house design, writing team and stuff like that. Here's the table of contents for the latest edition here. It's basically a whole ton of, they've got an education section, project section, and features, various industry stuff that they want to feature. And there's my ugly mug thanking people who helped get them up and running. The new, news for the new 5nm chip and stuff like that. And then they've got projects, a Raspberry Pi starting, like a prototype. These are just features. So these aren't the articles yet. But as you can see, very nice production quality. So a Bosch ads, and then a Pi robot, and a photo booth of a nerd. Which is a badge of honor. And of course, it's heavily advertised by the two local electronics providers, JCar and Altronics. And look, the excellent quality of the step-by-step guides and the diagrams and everything else. Fantastic. Are they getting that? Isn't there a program which does the breadboard stuff like that? Anyway, one thing you'll find is that they've got the parts list, bill of materials, fantastic, and they've got JCar and Altronics part numbers. Now, this really localizes things. If you're going to do that, I'd like to see maybe a DigiKey part number as well, just to make it a bit more global, I think. I'm not, okay, it's local focus, but I'm thinking that's not the best way to do it, because you're going to get a global audience for a magazine like this, definitely. then they actually go into some detail of actually documenting the source code as well, like each line. They, really go into detailed descriptions of what pretty much each line of code does. So that's, it's very impressive. Some might say too much, but Then you've got projects like this one, and I won't go through the full project, but it's very impressive, very laid out very well. It's got, photos of the contributors, which I absolutely love, with all their website and their Twitter contacts and other stuff. Terrific. And then they've got a section they call the classroom, which is what is electricity, and go into power substations and how they all work and stuff like that. Neat. And then you got more local advertisers. John Oxer from Freetronics, for example. Fantastic to see. And focus on other projects and stuff like that. Anyway, it is just chock full of excellent. And all the photos are top-notch quality. It's just terrific. So there you have it. That's DIYODE magazine. Huge thumbs up and hats off to Rob Bell and the team for getting this together. And please support them. I'll link it in down below. And not everyone likes the magazine format. Not everyone wants to pay the money to access the material. Some people say the print version's too expensive. But, they've put a lot of effort into this. If you want quality produced, content like this, then, it costs money. People have to eat and make a living. And I just love the fact that it's in dead tree format. I love just being able to, take this and just read it anywhere. It's not the same on your stupid iPad. It's not. Oh, yeah. Catch you next time.